sure to be mindful when you make comments to people, because you may not even be like trying to come off that way, but you're coming off that way to them. Because to me, like, any comment you make about my body is feeding that old voice in my head. Hey guys, what's up? It's Bethany. So I've sat down and tried to film this exact video probably like 10 times. Like, I've thought about it and I just keep wanting to film it, but I just don't know how to put into words what I'm trying to say. So hopefully this actually works out and like I actually can post this and upload it, and it'll help someone out there. Yeah, so let's just get into this whole thing. I really just wanted to share my background and why I'm a huge proponent of body positivity. Okay, sorry. So, I'm gonna start from when I was basically a small child all the way up until I was like a graduate in high school. So, probably basically since I was born, just bear with me, okay? I'm trying not to like get emotional because I'm a very sensitive and emotional being, so just give me a minute to like figure out what I'm gonna say. So I don't want to like read off a list or a script, I just want to be honest. So okay, so whenever I was a small child, I heard so many negative things about women's bodies from family members. I will name a few, not by their not by their names, but just by their like titles in my family. By my dad and my step-grandpa and another family member, which I choose not to name here. It's just not a safe situation, so I'm not going to address that person. We will talk about this person, but I'm not going to say even gender or anything to classify who this person is in my life or was in my life. So from that age, I've heard a multitude of things. I don't want to like trigger you, but this is a trigger warning video. Like, don't watch this if you're struggling with your weight, if you're struggling with your body image, or you're struggling with negativity and like words and how they affect your life. Just please don't watch this, okay? If you're recovering, wait and then watch this after you're recovered, even if it's like 5 years from now. But anyway, so I've heard so many things from those family members. It's so sad that not even a teenager, I'm talking about like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then into my teenage years, I heard things like, if you dress like this, men are gonna pray after you. If you dress like this, you're gonna be a slut, you're gonna be a prostitute, you're gonna be a whore. If you keep living this lifestyle, you're gonna end up nowhere. And then things like, from one of my family members, I'm not going to like address any of them and who said this. I'm just going to say that these 3 people said these things. I would hear from one of them constantly, that woman's a heifer, that woman's so fat, she's so fat, she shouldn't eat anything, she should just stop eating. Like, why is she even eating? She looks like she eats 10 cheeseburgers a day. She is so fat, she's so huge, she's so unattractive because she's fat. Like, fat people can't be pretty. Like, that's what I heard, okay? I'm not saying that I believe that, I'm saying that's what I heard from like a very young age on up. And then one of my family members, and it was severe. It wasn't just, it was like in my face with certain ones constantly telling me I'm too fat, I'm too skinny, I'm too fat, I'm too skinny. I'd lose the weight and I'd gain it back, and whenever I'd lose it, I'm too skinny. Whenever I gain it, I'm too fat. And I constantly heard, you're ugly, you're so ugly, like nonstop, like just nonstop. And it's just so hard for me to talk about. please watch this until the end, because I know it sounds like I'm crying for like a pity party or something, but it just brought up so many emotions, and I have a really good point to this. You just have to watch the whole thing. So I feel like it needs to be said. So crying on camera. This is so embarrassing. So one of my really supportive family members died. He was like my actual dad, like what I would consider a dad would be like a real dad. It was my real grandpa, on my mom's side. And I was 11. I probably shouldn't be filming this on my period, but I really just feel like this is the most in-depth I've gotten, so I'm going to. So he died, and that was like my lifeline. That was the only person that supported me and told me that I would actually get somewhere in my life. And that was the only person that really made me feel like I had a place here, that I was supposed to be here. I never felt like that after that for years. And from that point on, it destroyed me. I was so unwell, and I was super suicidal. I self-harmed, and I'm talking about from the age of 11 until just last year. I'm 22, so until 21. I finally am not suicidal anymore or self-harming, but from that age for the next 10 years, I was so suicidal and self-harmed, and okay, I'm gonna try not to cry anymore. I'm really sorry. I'm like so sensitive. And I'm really not sad anymore. It just brings up a lot of my old emotions that I used to feel, but I just really want to tell you my story, and I want to tell you why I think it's so important that we uplift people. So my family member that shall not be named, because I'm actually terrified of this person, from that point on that my grandpa passed away, this person made my life a living hell. And it was the verbal and mental abuse was like nonstop. And there was physical too, but it was mainly mental and verbal abuse. I've had my life threatened by this person, and I've been told that I'm a slut, I'm a whore, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly, I'm too skinny, and that I'm basically dying because of the way I look, and I'm just doing everything I'm doing for attention. I heard that for years, and I was, like I said, my life was threatened. I have had my arm almost broken and been slammed into walls and slapped in the face and things like that. I block out so much because I don't want to remember it all. I really don't. And I choose not to open that memory box because it's too much. But basically, when my grandpa died, I developed severe depression, and I developed an eating disorder. It was mainly because my grandpa, like I said, was the only one supporting me. He was like my lifeline, the only one that I felt like actually cared in my life. And sorry. Okay, I think I'm over crying. So I developed an eating disorder, and I would say I never was medically diagnosed, but like an eating disorder, it's an eating disorder. Like if you look up the signs, you know you have one. My family, they didn't believe in hospitalization or going to the doctor. Like I went to the doctor like maybe 3 times as a kid, maybe. So I never went, not even for this stuff, which to me is stupid, but I can't do anything about it now. At least I'm still here. That's what's important. But yeah, let me get back into it. So I developed an eating disorder, and I was severely depressed. I was super suicidal, at least in my thoughts. I did think about doing things. I never attempted. I was too scared to, which I'm glad that I didn't now. But I had anorexia for years. I think I really had it until I was like 18 or 19, because I would recover. It was like an addiction. I would recover, and then I would fall back into it, and I would recover, and then I'd fall back into it. So it was like a constant addiction for me. So basically, I'm not going to get too into it, but anorexia is just, you basically don't eat, or you restrict your food to such little calories that you lose a ton of weight, and it leads to, this is why you should not ever listen to what people tell you about your body, because anorexia made my hair fall out. It gave me this weird hair on my skin. My skin was like dry and disgusting, and I would stand up from chairs and almost fall on the floor because my circulation was so poor. One time I was sick with the stomach flu, and I had crossed my legs in a restaurant and stood up to go to the restroom, and I hit the floor in front of the whole restaurant because my circulation in my legs was so poor that my legs were literally like dead because my legs were crossed. I'd go upstairs and I'd see stars, and every time I worked out felt like I was gonna die because I could literally black out, and I'd just keep running or keep working out because that's what you do when you have an eating disorder. And I think it started to develop when I was about 12, and then I got super deep into it when I was like 14 and 15, and then I slowly pulled myself out of it. I mean, slowly. Like I finally realized that even though I'd been through all those things, I still wanted to live. Like I still wanted to be here, and I knew that if I kept restricting my food, I wouldn't be here much longer because of the way I felt. I knew that my body was going to just give up. I really did. So, I had no real support. One of my family members knew, but refused to tell anyone, and didn't really give me any help. I told this person, oh god, I just said their name. I told this person about everything, but no help, really, honestly. I'm not trying to be vindictive or rude here. This is from my perspective. I got no help. The person that was abusing me, I tried my hardest to stay away from them, but since they were such a close family member, I was pretty much forced to be around them, and so it was a huge trigger for me. Every time I was around this person, I just fell right back into everything again, and so I got myself out by willpower. I had no one to fall on. I had no one to help me. It was just constantly warring with myself until now. I'm 22 and I almost feel like I'm recovered. I mean, freaking 12 years later, right? But it was just a constant, sorry, that was my dog. I think he knows I'm sad because he's like coming over here or like triggered or whatever, but it was a constant struggle for me, and it's hard to hear. The reason that I love the body positivity movement is because it's not focused on your body like not focused on complimenting your body, because when I was in the heart of my eating disorder and the smallest I've ever been and will ever be, because I'll never get back down that small ever again, I would hear things like, you should be a model. You look so great. Like, oh my gosh, you're so thin. I love it. You should be a model. Like, I heard that all the time. Like, do I get that now? No, I don't get that now, okay? I'm not exactly thin. I'm just a normal girl with an athletic body now. But I heard that and it fed it, you know? And so I started to recover. It took me years. I fell really bad into it when I was 18. I started like working out super hard and restricting what I was eating again, and I had dropped, I don't know, like a good 20 pounds, and then I was like, okay, no, like, you worked so hard for this. You're gonna get back up and keep fighting. So, you know, I gained my weight back and I felt healthier, and I really started working on my relationship with food. I started to let go of every rule I had put around food and eat whatever I wanted to, which is so weird that I'm doing keto now, but keto is for my mental health at this point. It's not like so I can restrict. I really don't want it to ever come off that way. But I started to let go of every rule I'd ever had with food and exercise. Like, now I don't exercise every day. Now I eat whatever I want. Now I'm doing keto, but like before that, I was eating literally whatever I wanted. I didn't restrict at all. And I was maintaining my weight and I felt good, you know, but I know my health is priority. And right now I don't think I'm very healthy, mentally or physically, really. I've been having a lot of health problems. So yeah, that's basically my story. On like my body positivity journey. I basically had destroyed my body image and destroyed myself so much that I see the point. I see why we need it, because just those 3 individuals, and of course other factors, but mainly those 3 individuals changed my childhood and teenage years beyond repair. Okay, I'm not resentful. I'm actually so appreciative because I'm so strong now and like vulnerable. Like, I was never vulnerable before because I had to be hard, because I had constant chatter in my ears. But now I'm surrounded by people that love me for like me, not my body, not the way I look, and it's so freeing. That I just want everyone to see that, okay? When you make a comment about someone's like body type, body shape, or how they're looking, even if it's like, oh girl, you look great, you've lost so much weight. Like, I do that and then I'm like, why did I say that? Because I don't want them to feel like they didn't look great before, because they did. Like, they're great, they're glowing either way. And I need to work on it myself, but I'm just saying, make sure to be mindful when you make comments to people, because you may not even be like trying to come off that way, but you're coming off that way to them. Because to me, like, any comment you make about my body is feeding that old voice in my head, and that bad body image that I had. And also, this one gets me. Do not make comments about food. There is no bad or good food, okay? Every food is a good food. If you eat in moderation, everything can be eaten. Like I said, I'm doing keto for my mental health. I'm not doing it because, oh, I think carbs are bad, okay? Like, oh my God, carbs are so bad. I am not doing that, okay? I would never do that, and don't ever do that, because it puts a freaking preconceived mindset in people's head that there is actual good and bad food, okay? One food might be better for your health or worse for your health, but like, as far as good food and bad food, just straight up, it's not bad or good. And it drives me insane because I see so much stuff online. Oh, I ate good today. Oh, I ate bad today. I had McDonald's today, so I ate bad. Or I had a salad today, so I ate good. Like, no girl, no girl or boy, you ate good today because you ate, okay? We live in like the most amazing society. We get to choose what we want to eat every single day, and we should not be freaking putting labels on food that they're good or bad, okay? That's what puts these terrible mindsets in people. If you want to say that a food's healthier for you, go ahead, but don't put a big, huge label like on Cool Ranch Doritos. Don't put bad food, okay? Just freaking shut up with it. If you think it's a bad food, just don't say it, because you're literally changing someone's mindset about a food for the rest of their life, and it ruins your relationship with all food. Because I even like now, if you want to get in the mindset of someone that has been through all that, whenever I eat food, if I feel like I eat too much, regardless if it's healthy or unhealthy, I'm like, I was so bad, I shouldn't have eaten that. Okay, I still do that, and I mean, I still eat, but I still think like that, and I know I'm still in my recovery. You know, I consider myself pretty much fully recovered, but I still struggle with the thoughts, and I just fight them. I just beat them up in the head. And I hate that. Just please don't ever label food like that, and don't label people's bodies like that, okay? It's okay to say their classification. Like, I'm a normal size. Someone that's overweight, they're overweight. Someone that's obese, they're obese. But don't be like, wow, that fat cow over there. Like, you don't have to say that, okay? And you don't have to say, oh, look, there's skinny Minnie. She's walking down the road, super skinny Minnie. Or look, there's fit Beth. She looks super fit today. Like, you don't know how that makes someone feel. So please don't do that. And just try to remember my story. And like, I'm not trying to be self-centered. Remember everyone's story, because everybody has some kind of story now about body image and food. Remember people's stories before you say something. And this is to me too. But I just wanted to get vulnerable and real for a minute, because I hate it. And it's really aggravating me to see that. And I am more and more an advocate of body positivity every day. I don't believe in health in every size. I don't believe in any of that, but I am very much into body positivity. I think you should love yourself so much that if you need to change it, you'll change it. Or if you're fine the way you are, stay the way you are. I think that you should love yourself, okay? Love you. You're beautiful. You're awesome. You're so amazing. You're beautiful on the inside out. You're glowing, and you're loved by so many people, and the world and the earth is so thankful to have you here. I'm thankful you're here, and I want you to stay here. So with that being said, I'm really sorry for crying on camera. I'm gonna probably edit a lot of it out. But I just wanted to give my story. I've never really told a mass amount of people my story, which is super scary. But I hope I didn't offend anyone today, but I just really want you guys to be more open to what you say. So if you like my little rambling life story, make sure to like and subscribe down below, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye, guys.